question for you today. I was sitting here reading the Bible in a cigar bar today here on a Sunday morning, traveling, and I was sitting here reading the Bible, smoking a cigar. And the question I have for anybody that's watching this: does God show up only in church? Me growing up, in my growing up years, in a very conservative environment, going to church every Sunday, sometimes every other Sunday, we'd go to church, read the Bible, all the things, go to Sunday school, and I was taught that you got to go to church in order to hear from God. And if you're watching this today, I'd like to hear your feedback. Does God only show up if you go to church? Or does God show up whether you're in a cigar lounge, smoking a cigar, reading the Bible? Or does he show up in your backyard? Does he show up in your everyday life as you go at your job? Because I grew up being taught that you got to go to church in order to hear from God, and you got to listen to the preacher, etc., 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 all the things. And if you go to a place like I'm sitting at here today, just relaxing, chilling, and smoking a cigar, reading the Bible, or you're out hunting, because I like to hunt. I like to big game hunt and whitetail deer hunt and all the things. I hunt every chance I get. And God and the Holy Spirit, I believe, can show up wherever you are at. You don't have to go to church, and that's just my opinion and my understanding, my experience, etc. But the thing is, I challenge you to think about that. And maybe you're watching this and you're like, you grew up different than I did, and that's fine. That's totally cool. But the question is, can God show up wherever you are, whatever you are doing? Can he show up and give you a word of encouragement or a word of conviction of whatever? I mean, it's just some thoughts I've been having in the last few years of my life here. I grew up in a much different way than maybe you did if you're watching this. Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback.